All right, so we're ready to do it for real this time. Hey, it's Kiana, and I want to talk about something that is actually kind of not that great, and that thing is being in a rut. It's really interesting that I decided to record this video at this point in time because I actually have just gotten out of like a really weird mental situation. Forgive me as I record this video, it's gonna be really hard for me to actually like express this and talk about it. I find that I always want to record videos about the shit that I actually don't want to talk about. Just recently I got out of a weird like mental rut. We'll call it a rut, but it feels like that word is way too simple and nuanced for the thing that actually happened to me. I don't really know when it started, but I knew when I was in it for sure. I mean, I've been in them before, just like these really low mental periods. It's just really hard for me to like get out of bed and do anything. When I found myself in the rut, I really don't like that word. We'll find something else eventually. But when I found myself in the rut, I just like couldn't human. Everything was like slowed down pretty much. I honestly couldn't even string together cohesive thoughts to even get out of bed and do a thing. There would be times where I knew I needed to get up and like make myself lunch or dinner or something like that, or at least go out and get it. And it was like my brain would create these chains of command where it would be like, hungry, go to Chipotle. And then it would just like, it really was awful. Because as I mentioned earlier, I really just wanted to get up and like do the things that I needed to do. I was going to the gym pretty frequently. I was trying to like go out and like hang out with my friends. I was like doing all sorts of things that actually made me feel good before getting into this rut. And then I just suddenly like couldn't find the energy to do any of that. I was continuously like seeing my therapist, but that was really like the one thing that I found that I was able to do without trouble. But other than that, I would just come out of my house, go to the appointments, and then come back inside and go back to bed. Even if I didn't need to sleep, I found that I was just in bed, like wrapped up in blankets, just laying there. And there would be times where like there would just be nothing, like I would just be like completely flat, and there were other times where my brain was just like racing. Sometimes the ruts get to a point where they take me on really like emotional like highs and lows. I would say that the highs are more angry and frustrated, and the lows are definitely more like sad and depressed. But yeah, it gets really bad. Like there are times where I just find that I just, ding, who's that? I like a distraction because I really don't want to talk about this. It was Benny. Hey Benny. So it just felt like a lot of things were just like really out of my control, and it was horrible. I mean, there's nothing worse than feeling like you're losing control of the thing that you're the most responsible for, which is yourself. Especially to be out here without like my family and like my close friends from back home. It's just really tough to like stand up on your own 2 feet and deal with this type of thing. So for me, the only way that I find that I regain any sort of like, not responsibility, but like focus over my life is bullet journaling. A couple of my close friends and a couple people who I work with know that I like carry around this black moleskin notebook with me pretty frequently. That is my bullet journal. It is pretty much a log for all of the things in my life, or all the things that I find to be important. I actually am gonna like grab it from my bag. One second. This is my new bullet journal. It's really simple and cute, and it's a hardcover, which I love because I am a mess of a human and I like tend to destroy things. So the things that I need in my life require a little bit of durability. It has a front and a back cover because I wanted it to. But this is my old one. It's a soft cover. I had this in college and I like tried to make like a cute little cover, but it ended up getting ripped off because like I said, dysfunctional tornado human. But look at this, right? Like look at that. Look at those like pages. This is a mess. Oh my God, I used to bullet journal in pencil. This is for all of my friends who think that they can't bullet journal, like who think that their bullet journals are ugly. This is where we came from, friends. This is the origin story, okay? Like that is horrible. Okay, so let's get on topic, okay? Sometimes it actually was really hard to write in here. I have like days where I skipped, or days where I have like tasks where I just like kind of like drew the procrastination arrow on all of them. Just like couldn't do it, which makes me a little bit disappointed, but what I'm trying to say is to get out of the rut, I just needed an opportunity to like gain some autonomy over like my life. Like I think that your emotions and your mental state will run you over if you let it, and it's really, really hard not to like give into that, right? Because you really want to give yourself the space to feel the things that you feel and think through the things that you need to think through. But for me, I really had to like step back and realize when it was unproductive, you know what I mean? And not just unproductive in that I wasn't doing the things I needed to do, but like in that I'm not solving the problems that I am experiencing in the moment. But the bullet journal really helped me to like create tangible solutions to the problems that were just living in my head for so long. And I also would occasionally just like use other notebooks as well. Like I'm not like solely dedicated to the bullet journal. Like I have a notebook right beside my bed. I have notebooks sprinkled all around this apartment. Some other things that can tend to help when you're in a rut for me is just like realizing what you do and don't have the energy for. Like I told a lot of people that I was operating on like a low power mode. It was almost like I was just like sustaining and surviving instead of like actually going out and like achieving goals and like doing the things like being productive and doing the things that I like wanted to do and pushing myself to do more things. Like I was really just kind of like here. You kind of just have to tell yourself the truth about like where you're at mentally and what you can and can't handle. So when I was in a rut, I knew that I was having trouble making myself dinner. Like I would buy groceries and they would just sit here and I just like would know that. So I stopped buying groceries for a little while. Not like completely stopping buying groceries. Like I would buy like microwave meals and like snacks and things like that. But that's really all I had the energy to like do, is just get up, grab something and eat it. Otherwise speaking, I would just go out and eat, honestly, which financially is a bit of a burden, but like when you literally can't eat at all, and you're skipping meals like twice, like 2 times, like 3 times a day, like you just need to get food in your system. That's one thing that my therapist actually told me, which is really helpful. When she'd ask me if I'd been eating and things like that, I would like kind of like shame myself about the food that I made. It would be like 7 o'clock at night and I'd be like, yeah, I ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for dinner. And she would remind me like, no, it's important to feed yourself, even if it's not like a 5-star like restaurant dinner that I like whipped up here at the house, but I still was like fulfilling that need, you know, still like doing the thing that I need to do and taking care of myself. Sometimes that being in a rut can get really scary and bad, and it's really difficult to like manage that space by yourself. It's almost a bit like horrifying. So I think for me, the most important thing was just like being honest with people and letting them know that like, hey, I'm in a really tough spot right now. Like, I mean, especially like close family and friends, like it's really important to like reach out to them and let them know that you need some support. And as I said, it's a bit of a challenge because like I'm far away from home, but I do have some friends here that have been really great, so I reach out to them when I can. I know that people are busy, so I don't really expect everybody to like hop up and rally over here and hang out with me, but just like reaching out and like talking to people and just like having the acknowledgement that everything will be okay and that you have people in your corner supporting you is just really nice. So it's really nice to just like talk to people and let them know what's going on, and even if you can't necessarily like express it fully, it's just nice to like have some company, even if it's virtual, just to feel like you're not alone. The most important thing though to realize is that it's temporary. It's not gonna last forever, even though it really, really feels like it might. Being stuck in a rut has like a bit of a hopelessness that like kind of like attaches itself to you, where it feels like, oh, I'm always going to be miserable, things are always going to be like this. No, they're not. Things do get better. They actually do. I am one of those people who, when people tell me that things get better, I'm like, well, of course you say that things are gonna get better. Like, you have to say that. Well, people are not obligated to tell you that things will get better. Like, and people are not obligated to say nice things to you. So take those things and like take them with you, like into the space that you're in, into the rut or whatever, and just like acknowledge that those things are true. Like, they really are. I've had a lot of people like reach out to me and like telling me really great things, and honestly, like friends that I like knew and acknowledged, but maybe even like took for granted a bit, didn't really realize like how close that we actually were, reached out to me and like let me know that things would be okay, and told me lots of like really great things about myself. And I just like, it's just nice to be like surrounded by that type of love and to like just feel that from other people. Especially being out here, I realized how important it was to let myself accept kindness and like friendship from other people, and to let them into my space and like honestly let them know how I'm doing. Things like being in a rut like really does feel like the end all be all. Like, it feels like this is it, this is me, I suck, everything sucks, everything's horrible, like, and that's just how it's gonna be for the rest of my life until I die. that's not true. Things kind of go, they go in waves, like, let's be real. But yeah, things have highs and lows. Like, things will be great and things will be bad. And sometimes things will be neutral, but it's always like great to prepare yourself for the times when things are bad. Like, knowing that, like, yes, I'm feeling great right now, things could go to shit at some point, but I'm ready for that. And I know that I can take care of myself, and I can stand on my own 2 feet and say that even in those times where things are hard, I have the tools and the capabilities to take care of myself, even if it just means making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at 7 p.m. It's just really important to acknowledge that these things don't last forever. You've got your friends, you've got your family, you've got yourself, most importantly. And it's gonna be okay. Like, you can actually do it, and you know that while the rut is temporary, while any happiness that you may feel in a moment is temporary, like, it's okay to just like feel those things and accept them. I always talk about radical acceptance with my therapist, and it was something that I really didn't want to like attach myself to, because like I felt like I didn't have to accept things. Like, I felt like, yes, this is terrible, but like that, like, I'm not happy and things suck and I just am in agony over it. But the more I like felt that way, the more I realized like how exhausted I was from feeling the agony and feeling upset and frustrated and sad and lonely and all of those things, when it's just easier to just let those things be. Like, the emotions are there, feel them. But to burn yourself out on discontentment is really difficult. So I think the thing that like helped me the most in gaining that acceptance is realizing that things eventually would change, and knowing that I'm the type of person who, if I don't want things to stay the same, they won't be the same. I always try to be productive and take those steps to make sure things will be different, or things are improved, or I do things differently. I have one of my favorite traits about myself is that I find that I'm really, really accountable, or I try to practice accountability 100% of the time. And it just gives me a sense of responsibility over the things that happen to me. Even if some of those things are out of my control, like, there are situations that I find myself in where I'm like, well, this wasn't what I expected. But the good thing is I feel capable enough to change that. So acknowledging that type of capability and power within myself really helps me to like get through those moments of hopelessness and sadness and things like that. Like I said, that's not to say it doesn't suck. It sucks. It really sucks. But you can get through it. You will. And there are just like, not everything works for everyone, but like there are definitely ways of coping and allowing yourself to feel the things and just get through it as best as you can, because that's really all you can do. Thanks for watching this video. I know it's been a while. I can't really promise that I'm gonna record another. Maybe if I feel the inspiration to do it, I will. I think it's still there. I think I still want to like maintain this channel and do this, but I'm not always like the most inspired person. Like I said, I just got out of some shit recently where I couldn't even like leave the house, like, so, except for work and therapy. So there will be times where I feel the spark to do this and I will do it, and then there will be times where you won't hear from me for like months and months and months at a time. Although I don't really think that people are looking for these videos, so I don't think I have like a free to hive or anything like that. Like, nobody is really like looking for these. But if you are, sometimes they'll be here and sometimes they won't. So I guess you should just radically accept that. Okay, I'm done for real. Thanks for watching this video. Bye. So I forgot to mention this while I was formally recording, but I just wanted to do a quick shout out to my friend Remy, who just started a YouTube channel called Prismatic Violet, where they talk about their experiences as a non-binary person. And I really love the premise of that channel. I love that they are having those types of conversations, and also bringing into perspective topics of like intimacy and like love and things like that. Also universal human experiences. So if you like this content, or if you watch this, go to Prismatic Violet and watch my friend Remy's videos. They are great. I love them. So if you go over there and you watch those videos, like and subscribe, and also love them and be kind to them and do all the things that I do, except more, because there are more people than just me. Thanks, bye!